This is people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. Here are the 5 things today that we have learned from the Chelsea versus Fulham pre-season game today. Here we go. Number 1, Thiago Silva. I honestly think, from his previous performance against Brighton, where he didn't seem himself, seemed a bit lackluster. I felt like he had a really great performance today. Felt he looked solid in the back, was shepherding Bashir Humphries alongside him. He was alongside him playing the left centre back role quite well. I felt defensively he did a good job as well too. Obviously, he got the goal. He literally was able to out-header Diop, who's a lot taller than him as well. So shouts out to Thiago Silva for doing such a great job defensively as well. But in general, what I just want to say, man, Thiago Silva has had a great performance today. That's why he's the cover of the thumbnail too. Honestly, great performance by him, good goal by him. But at the end of the day, something that I want to see from again is leadership. We know Thiago Silva has leadership qualities. We know that he's been the captain of Brazil, been captain of PSG. He's been the vice captain for us for a while now. And listen, man, I've always had trust in him to do that job very well. And, he was being a top skipper, in my opinion, playing the game quite well there. So, listen, Thiago Silva, shouts out to you, my friend. You've had a really great game. And, listen, man, nothing more else to say on him so far. And, I'll give a quick special mention as we talk about number 1. I'm going to give a special mention to both Bashir Humphries and Gilchrist, who came on for the injured Chalobah. I thought both of them had good games. I'll start with Bashir Humphries. I think Bashir Humphries had a great game. It was a lot more calm on the ball. I think he did a good job, being able to cover that left side wall, particularly whenever Ben Chilwell was going out, going out in attack and, making his runs forward. So I thought that, Bashir Humphries was doing a good job there. And, it's not just his performance as well in the previous game against Newcastle. I thought we had a very good steady performance playing the majority of the game there as well. So listen, shout out to Bashir Humphries. He's been having a few great games in general, and again, he's a young player. He's showing a good level of maturity, and that's what you want to see. Maybe for a year or two again with a Premier League loan, or maybe a loan abroad, maybe at Strasbourg or a Tamoti club model or somewhere else, he can go on to improve to become a very good top centre back that you may consider having at the football club. So I want to give a big shout out to Bashir Humphries on that one. And in terms of Gilchrist, I thought Gilchrist did a great job coming on for Chalobah. Obviously, Fulham were trying to put a bit more pressure on us, trying to go and get some form of a goal, particularly because they also had some changes. Harry Wilson was looking very good as well, for Fulham, and he was putting those deadly crosses into the box as well. And he did a good job defending, especially some of the time he had to do a bit of last-ditch defending, if you're being honest as well. So, Gilchrist, get another young player. Obviously we saw, I think, a bit of flashes of him when he was playing in the Brighton game, I believe. Or if it's not the Brighton game, then I believe it would be the Wrexham game where he came on, I think, as a right back, in the back 3. But yeah, listen, Gilchrist, I'm interested, man. I'm interested in him. Hopefully he has a good career trajectory where we give him time to develop. But he looks solid, man. He was doing a lot of good defending. And, listen, man, I'm just giving props to the young G's at the end of the day. So, shouts out to you, Gilchrist, and as well. So, keep up the hard work as well, in my opinion. Now, let's go on to number 2, which is Lewis Hall. Honestly, I think Lewis Hall is probably the best player in the second half. He's the most active. He was trying to make things happen. He had a couple of crosses that he tried to put in, which one was a bit more of a hit to Nicholas Jackson. He wasn't able to, control the ball with his volley to get the ball into the net, because he's literally skied it. And then the other one, was literally went to the first man, which was Bassi at the time. But in general, Lewis Hall had a really good game. He was very attacking, was able to, dispossess the Fulham winger. He did this great run where he went through like almost three man for the Fulham team. Went through one, went through two, then going to get through the third one. But at the end of the day, man, Lewis Hall, man, obviously he hasn't been played pretty much at all in the last 4 games against Wrexham, against Brighton, against Newcastle. He was given a chance now to play, and listen, man, he performed very well. He performed very well indeed. So, listen, Lewis Hall, man, it'll be interesting to see what happens to him. I'm still expecting personally for Lewis Hall to go out on loan and do something in and around there. But listen, Lewis Hall, he's one to watch. I've always said, for me, maybe if you bring him on from maybe the LCM role to left back role, I could see something happening there. I can see something cooking there, in my opinion, with Lewis Hall. So we'll see what happens to you. But again, congratulations on the good game, Lewis Hall. So let's move on to number 3. number three for me is no doubt in my opinion, and that would be Andre Santos. In my opinion, Andre Santos had a really good game in the first half. You know, he was very good in the first phase of play. That's why he's really the most reactive right now. Obviously, playing alongside Enzo, he's the one that's Enzo's probably going to be the one that's going to be going a bit more forward, trying to dictate and play the final third of play, and trying to do some sort of magic there as well. And Andre Santos did a good job of trying to clean up, especially because of the fact there was such a big midfield battle. Fulham were playing like a mid block, basically trying to control the center of the field, and I feel like he did a good job of trying to break up play there, being a bit more cool, calm, collected. Trying to bring the pass into Chukwuemeka, who was a 10 at the time, and then trying to who would then bring it to the wingers or to the striker. I think for me again, when it comes to Andre Santos, he seems to be very mature, knows how to play the game, and I think for me the big question you're going to be asking when it comes to Andre Santos is he good enough to be a backup? And I think he has, and I think for me that's what he showed this game. I think this game, what he's really differentiated is the fact that, listen, even if you bring in another CDM, whether it be a Caicedo, I will be a top tier backup for you to play with, and that's what you want to see, man. That's what you want to see at the end of the day, and I think he's valued, and he's valued that, and he's performed to a high level as well. So listen, Andre Santos, big ups to you. I like the way you performed. I was very especially in the first phase of play, which we need you to be performing in. And bigs up to you, man. Big up to you indeed. The next player I'm going to be talking about is Carney Chukwuemeka. Listen, Carney, he's a very good player. Obviously, as we know, and we spoke about last season, kind of was thrown under the bus, particularly by both Potter and Lampard, especially. They did a poor job on him. Not being able to look after him, give him enough game time because they were basically fighting for their jobs because they weren't good managers at the end of the day. It's really as simple as that. But Carney Chukwuemeka was really good. Was looking to make was looking to be a good outlook. Was looking to get passes into Nkuku, into Sterling, who was on the other side of the pitch. He was very good. 1v1, particularly for the second goal, where he was able to steal the ball off the Fulham defender and then make that dribble into the shot, which then rebound to Nkuku, who could just tap it into the back of the net. I also think with him, that ability to dribble, that ability to dribble from particularly from the midfield phase into the attacking final phase is really good by him. He's got very good ball control, in my opinion, in that aspect as well. And listen, man, at the end of the day, man, that's what you want to be seen from your number 10. But for me, at the end of the day, I would also argue that he's very good in the 8 position. I think him in the 8 is much more better than him in the 10. But we will see again. Is he good enough to be a backup? Yes. But for me, the question is, he has missed literally 1 year. He's missed literally 1 year completely, essentially, I would argue, of developmental purposes. So is it fair for him just to be a backup where he's still going to be getting limited minutes? Or do you want to maybe put him out on loan where he can still get the time to, develop, get a lot more game time as well? Maybe that's what you want to do for someone like a Carney Chukwuemeka. And then, again, that might be a solid solution anyway. And again, we will see with that whether or not that will happen. But for me, maybe I think with Carney Chukwuemeka, maybe he might need like a loan to help him develop even further. Maybe at a lower league team and play Premier League club. Maybe at Strasbourg, but we will see. And I think that's pretty much all 4 players I've spoken about so far. Let's move on to number 5, and that is Raheem Sterling. And Raheem Sterling, he's weirding me out, man. He's weirding me out. I feel like for the majority of the first half, it was virtually a ghost, if I'm being honest. He was ghosting around. Wasn't seeing that much from him. He wasn't the movement, anything you want to say at all from him. He wasn't there. He wasn't clicking. He wasn't moving. And then there'll be instances where I'll be watching it and I'm like, well, for example, like where Nkuku, this is for the second goal, where Nkuku overhits the ball to him, but he still is able to get it, and then he'll basically be coming inside to do the little dribbling situation, and it will just be like, why are you dribbling that direction? Like, he goes past one man, and then like the other guy, literally, he's going to be going in for you. Why do you just cut inside there? But instead he keeps on dribbling in a straight line, literally. And then there's also the fact that there'll be times like, the chance for Enzo, where he's trying to score twice, and then you literally see him, and then you literally see him do the right decision and pass it in Nkuku, who then passes to Enzo, who misses twice, sadly. And then it's like, we commit the right decision there, but then sometimes he's not making the right decision either. And like the thing is, he's meant to be the older statesman of the team, the older statesman in attack, the one that's going to be, helping to lead these young players to be doing a great job. And it's just like, it's not working, man. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. And it's just like, we need your performances, bro. We need you to perform performances, bro. It's really as simple as that, bro. We need you, man. And he's not performing to that level that I feel like he should be performing to. So I don't know, man. Sterling, is it time to move on? I think it's, I don't know, man. But it's starting to look like that, man. It's starting to look like that, indeed. Now, let's give a quick special mention to Nicholas Jackson. Even though he wasn't able to get a goal or assist, felt like he did a really good job. Was able to come back defensively and do a good job there, particularly for the Bassey chance, where he was able to take the ball off Bassey and then just literally drive up the field. Again, give it to Matson, who then gives it back to him, and then he gives it to Gallagher, who shoots it straight at Bernd Leno. I also think that, you know, he did a good job, you know, with his link-up play, hold up of the ball. So shout out to Jackson, man. Again, good performance from him too. Big up to Gusto, who had a good quiet performance as well from him as well. And that's pretty much, I think, it from all the players that I've spoken about. That's the video, guys. Again, please make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. And this is the Bridge 258 signing out. And as always, stay blue.